Lee wants me to testify in Julie's trial.
What?
So why would Lee want you to take the stand?
Because if I can say anything that's incriminating about Eve, the jury's gonna look favorably on Julie.
Yeah, but after what was found in Eve's closet, Lee shouldn't have a hard time making Eve look like evil incarnate.
Yeah, she also bailed on her subpoena.
Which isn't how an innocent person acts.
You know, nobody knows why people do what they do.
It's hard to buy that Eve or Julie is the killer.
Well, if neither one of them is guilty, that means the murderer is out there still somewhere, free as a bird.
You know, I hope that makes him complacent so he makes a mistake and the cops can just catch him.
No, that'll never happen. This person is too smart.
Well, I just want this whole thing over with. The trial, everything.
Lee must realize how terrible it is for you to testify against Eve.
Yeah, but Lee is a good lawyer. He wants to get his client off. If that means putting me up on the witness stand and taking my head off, he'll do it like that.
Dr. Ramsey, would you describe your relationship to Eve Lambert?
We're colleagues.
You rent a room to her in your apartment, don't you?
Yes.
Well, Miss Lambert was scheduled to testify, but she's failed to show. Would you tell the court, please, what you know about her disappearance?
Well, there's not much to tell. I came home and she was gone.
Had she packed her things?
Yes.
Well, where did she go?
I don't know. Guess I must have missed the note on the refrigerator.
Did you do anything to find Miss Lambert?
I made a few calls to her friends and family.
They tell you where she was?
No.
Did you look for clues in any other places?
I checked out her room.
What did you find in Eve Lambert's closet?
Hangers, shoebox.
Oh, nothing unusual, huh? No, secret compartment or safe, huh?
There was a loose panel, but I doubt Eve knew it was there.
You can't say what Dr. Lambert knew. Now, what did you find behind that loose panel? You're under oath, sir.
I found pictures of the people murdered by the general homicide killer.
Picture of Bennett Devlin?
Yes.
Jake Marshak and Cassandra May and Grace Sullivan?
Yes.
Did you find anything else in that cache beside the pictures?
There was a hospital ID, a key ring, and a gold comb.
Just personal items, huh?
You could say that.
Whose ID?
It was Jake Marshak's.
And was there a name on the key ring?
Yes. Grace.
And how about the comb? Were there any identifying marks on the comb?
I believe the initials CM were engraved on it.
As in Cassandra May?
I couldn't presume to say.
Dr. Ramsey, what did you do with these items after you found them?
I threw them away.
Defense would like to enter these items as Exhibit F, Your Honor. And, you know, judging from their content, it would appear that you did more than just throw them away.
I burned them.
You burned these items that we have just entered into evidence?
Yes.
Then what?
I put the remains in a trash bag and threw it away in a hazardous waste receptacle at the hospital.
Why did you do that?
I was unnerved that those things were in my home. I overreacted.
Wasn't it your intention to cover for your friend Eve Lambert?
I wasn't covering for anyone.
Weren't you trying to destroy the evidence that would expose Eve Lambert as a killer?
Objection. Argumentative.
Withdrawn. We know that's what you did.
Objection. Sustained.
5-minute recess, Your Honor.
Sure can't pick him, Courtney. Your ex-husband is about as sleazy as they come.
Don't start with me, Frank.
Hey, I'm with you on this one. I don't like that guy up there working Neil any more than you do. What's with these?
Sterling roses. I carried them in my wedding bouquet. You can guess what he's getting at.
Yeah, he's playing you.
Well, it's all just this big game to John. He wanted me to know what it will feel like when he takes Neil from me.
And you dumped Joe for this guy.
The single biggest mistake I've made in my life. But John had everything I had always dreamed about. He had money and power, prestige. I was just this kid and he wanted me. I was dazzled. We traveled in his private jet. We dined with amazing people.
I guess they don't teach small-town girls about Euro trash. You always wanted the brass ring, now you got it. Why'd you two break up?
It's hard to explain.
Why don't you give it a shot, Courtney? I'm sure Frank would understand.
Some things should stay between us.
Oh, we're all adults here. Adults make mistakes. I'm here in Port Charles to own up to mine. What about you, Courtney? Don't you think confession is good for the soul?
A nice girl like you doing in a place like this.
Waiting to get out. I hope you didn't use up too many of your lives looking for me.
Well, let's see. There was a plane crash. There was alligators. There were snakes, and I hate snakes. And there was a hurricane. So that's I got 3 left.
How's Serena?
No complications. We won't know, of course, until the bandages come off, whether she can see or not.
Yeah, I'm praying for her.
I know.
Scott,
So,
I
let's
just,
just
no,
say this
let me
first.
do it first, please. Okay?
All right.
I never intended for you to go on some wild goose chase looking for me. And then when your plane went down...
It's not your fault, okay? I was just trying to find you before the cops did, and you ended up with this city jail on your shirt.
Thanks. I hear that Lucy went with you.
Yeah, well, you know, Lucy, when she puts her mind to something, you know, she's, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure she probably thought she could do a better job than the cops. You know what, Scott, I've never been one to beat around the bush, so I'm just gonna come right out and say this. I heard you and Lucy slept together.
Kevin.
Well, he just wanted to prepare me in case I had any wrong impressions about us.
Well, listen, Eve, I don't want to lie to you about anything.
I know. And you know what, really, it's none of my business anyway. We're not together anymore. It's okay.
It's all right. It's just that, you know, there are things that we have to talk about.
You know what? Now is not the time. Now is definitely not the time. Have you heard the latest?
No, I'm afraid to ask.
Well, they found rope fibers from the rope used to kill Jake in my suitcase.
Well, either this is a setup, or you're just a sloppy killer and you want to get caught.
Do you see what I mean? Is this not absurd? The next thing you know, they're going to find a body with a tag on it saying, "Hi, Eve killed me." You know? It's ridiculous. What are you going to say on the stand?
I'm more concerned about what you're going to say.
I'm going with Chris as my alibi. No one can break it if Chris keeps his end of the bargain.
That's not necessarily true.
Dr. Ramsey?
Doesn't a recess mean I get a break from you, counselor?
Would you like a helpful warning?
Do I have a choice?
Your alibi for Devlin's murder is phony. You know it, and so do I.
You're misinformed, counselor.
You stand by that lie, you'll go to jail for perjury. Now, don't go down on that sinking ship.
Neil's fine.
You don't honestly think I would hurt him?
You don't want me to answer that.
How did things get so horrible between us? Maybe you can shed some light on this.
Don't.
You know...
Don't you dare turn this around on me. You're the one who wanted the divorce, John.
Something I deeply regret. I miss you and Neil.
You really cared one bit about Neil. Then why did you wait so long to come to him, John? Karen called you months ago to tell you how sick he was.
Perhaps we can discuss this privately. We both have plenty to say on that subject.
Now, stop trying to weasel out of this. Where were you when your kid was sick?
Be honest, Courtney. You didn't want me to come.
But Neil did.
You didn't want to be found once you left Europe. Now, did I have any right? Could I be justified in showing up? Making your life that much more complicated? You had to take care of your son. I understood that. And I've had a wonderful time being with him. And with you. Don't give up on us. After all, Neil needs a father. You tell him I'll see him soon again.
Eve, come on, let me just make this as simple as possible. If you lie on the witness stand, there's no turning back. It is a felony.
The defense can't prove my alibi is false. Chris is gonna back me up.
Eve, Lee may seem to you like a nice, warm, fuzzy old grandfather, but let me tell you something. He's a cutthroat. He'll come at you like a shark. He will get the truth out of someone.
I'm not worried about Chris. The only wild card here is you. Have you decided what you're gonna tell Lee?
Where were you when Bennett Devlin was murdered?
In the on-call room of General Hospital.
Were you alone?
No, I was with Eve Lambert.
What were the two of you doing?
I was applying an ice pack to her face.
She was injured. How?
Bennett Devlin punched her.
Did you witness this altercation?
Yes.
And to the best of your knowledge, this was right before he was murdered?
Yes. But as I said, Eve and I were together in the on-call room when that happened. He was alive last time we saw him.
Did anyone see the two of you together in the on-call room at the time Bennett Devlin was being murdered?
I have no idea.
Anyone pass you in the hallway? Anyone see you go into the on-call room?
I don't recall.
So there is no third party who can swear that they saw you and Eve Lambert together at the time Bennett Devlin was being murdered?
Not that I know of.
You telling the truth?
Objection. Badgering.
Your Honor, we've already shown that this witness has a predisposition for covering for Dr. Lambert.
I'll allow it. You may answer the question.
I'm telling the truth.
Perjury is a felony, Dr. Ramsey. Carries a maximum sentence of 15 years.
I'm telling the truth.
I will ask you again. Were you with Eve Lambert in the on-call room at the time Bennett Devlin was murdered?
Yes, I was.
Scott.
How's Serena?
Oh, she's okay. She's very upbeat. I'd like to get back to her. How long until you're gonna call me?
Well, Eve's next. You're up as soon as she's finished.
You know, all you have to do is establish reasonable doubt, Julie.
I'm aware of the job requirements, Scott.
Well, you don't have to make mincemeat out of it. That's not part of the package.
Look, if you want to help Dr. Lambert, convince her to tell the truth.
Well, she's got a mind of her own.
Chris Ramsey perjured himself. Now, if she backs him, she's digging her own grave, and there is nothing I can do.
Can I not talk you out of this?
Scott, I am overjoyed to see you home, and as much as I love you, I still think you're wrong.
What else is new?
Eve Lambert is hiding the truth, and I intend to nail her for it.
You look like you're on your way to the gallows.
Well, aren't I?
No. That's the wrong attitude, okay? You can do this.
How did your testimony go?
Stuck to our story, just like we discussed. Okay, just follow my lead. Support the alibi, we're home free.
That easy?
Well, no. No, Lee is sharp. But we're sharper.
What about Scott?
What about him?
What if he tells the truth?
Well, hopefully that soft spot he has, or had for you, will prevent him from doing that.
We're in over our heads with this lie.
Look, this isn't about lying or telling the truth. It's about self-preservation.
Maybe telling the truth is just the way to do
Hey,
that.
I don't have that option anymore. I just committed felony perjury. A felony, Eve. When I was arrested for destroying that shrine in your closet, I did everything I could to protect you.
And I'm grateful.
Yeah, well,
but
gratitude is a kick. But I expect you to return that favor. Don't let me down now.
It's time to go to the courtroom now.
counting on you.